Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and this is the Astral Library. And we're in my bedroom because my living room is a mess. And so we're gonna be in here. So the lighting's gonna be a little darker because your girl likes to sleep in a cave. But that's fine because it's still aesthetic and moody. And I think it's fitting for today's video because, as you probably saw from the title and thumbnail, we are going to be talking about my 5-star predictions for 2026. And to make it a little fun, we're doing 6 books that I think are going to be great. And where I'm going to try to make sure that I read all 6 of these books by the end of the year. And that's a little intimidating because some of these books I don't know why, but I've been avoiding. So let's go ahead and just get into it and you can see maybe why I'm panicking, especially with the first one on this list. The very first book I have for my 5-star predictions is, of course, Dark Age by Pierce Brown. This is the second book in the sequel quartet to the Red Rising series. If for some reason you don't know what the Red Rising series is about, which here on BookTube you probably know, but for sake of those who don't, it is about our main character Darrow, who lives in a society where people are broken into like a heavy caste system that's designated by color, where golds are on the top, they're the social elite, and reds are on the bottom. Darrow is a red who lives on Mars and specifically lives on below the surface of Mars, in which the reds are in charge of mining Mars in order to get minerals and materials that are used to what they're told to make Mars habitable for people to come over. However, one day Darrow learns that that is all in fact a lie. People have been living on Mars for centuries and that the reds are actually a slave caste system. And so we follow Darrow in his climb to overthrow the system. So that's what the original series is about. I cannot tell you what the quartet is about other than it takes place many years after, and we are still following Darrow. And I really love this series. You might be asking, Emily, why are you then avoiding it? Well, I've had this book so long. I think a little bit after it came out, I had bought it. I've been putting off this series in general because it's not finished yet. Even though Red Rising is one of my favorite sci-fi series, favorite sci-fi series for sure. I just really love the characters. I love Darrow and I love Severo. I'm not ready for the pain that's in this book because everyone who's read it has cried, has talked about how much it hurt. And even though I have the next book after this, finally, I don't have the end of the series and we don't know when the final book Red God's coming out. I've been avoiding it, especially because I think something happens to my baby in this book. Listen, if they kill off my favorite character by the time the series ends, I'm not gonna be okay. I'm really and truly not gonna be okay. So that's part of the reasons why I've been avoiding this. But I know I'm gonna really enjoy this because we had all the setup in the first book in this quartet. And so I feel like I'm now more prepared to like just dive into the action to see where shit's gonna go. But yeah. The next one is one I don't know why I haven't read this yet because normally I read these as soon as they're released, but I think something just happened that my brain just went no, even though I know it's going to be good. And that is Oathbound by Tracy Deonn. So this is the 3rd book in the Legendborn series. Originally I thought it was going to be a trilogy, but I think she extended it for one more book. So if you don't know, Legendborn's about our main character Bree, whose mother died of an illness, but there was these mysterious people on the day she died. And so in search of kind of like what happened and tried to connect with her mother, Bree goes to this prestigious college academy through an early start high school program. The first day she's there, she encounters monsters and a secret society whose job is to eliminate those monsters. But more than that, the secret society is the reincarnation of the Round Table. So it is Arthurian myth mixed with black magic and fantasy and academia. This is by far one of my favorite series I've ever read, which is why it's so surprising that I have not picked this book up, even though where we left off was a cliffhanger and I wanted to know what happened. And I know it's gonna be good because I've loved every book that's been in this series and each one has been 5 stars, if not damn near 5 stars. And there's just something that's holding me back from reading it. I think it's because I really want to like sit down and enjoy this book. And last year in particular, when this came out, was really busy. I just didn't feel like I had the capacity to do that. But I think this is finally the year. I'm gonna read it. I'm going to probably lose my fucking mind over it. And I know several people are gonna be very happy that I'm finally committing to reading it this year because they've been on my back about, Emily, how have you not read it? And you know what? They are right. Why haven't I read it? And I know it's gonna be good. Next up, I have A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor by Hank Green. This is the second book in the Absolutely Remarkable Thing. I don't know if there's an actual name for the series, maybe the Carls. It's a duology, and it is about our main character April, who comes across these kind of like transformer statue looking things, and they just randomly appear throughout the world. And April becomes an internet sensation after she makes a video talking about them, and it kind of skyrockets her into fame as she is trying to figure out what is the secret behind these mysterious statues. Who's put them there? Are they alien in nature? And the deeper that she becomes involved in this mystery, the more she realizes not only is fame changing her, but that there's actually a lot more going on. The first book took me by surprise because I picked it up because everyone said it was really good, but I just never read it. And then I think I found it at a used bookstore. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me go ahead and give it a try. And about like a quarter in the book, I was like, I don't know if this is for me, but it blew me away. I ended up getting really, really invested in the character and the plot, and I needed to know what happened. And then the ending of the first book was so good. The only reason why I didn't pick this up as soon as I did is one, because I was busy, and two, I was trying to find this thrifted just to be like a nice little like matching pair. So both of them were thrifted, both are in hardback, and it's true. I ended up finding this thrifted, and I just haven't had the time to sit down and read it, even though I know it's gonna be a really good read and a really quick read, because Hank Green, just like his brother, just has like a really fun and engaging writing style that just like lets you sink in. So I'm very excited to read this. I think it's gonna be a really good time. And like I said, I really want to know what happened, because under the first book was crazy. Where are we gonna go? What's gonna happen? What has happened in the interim between these two books? I need to know. Definitely, I think gonna be a 5-star prediction, and one I am going to probably get to sooner rather than later this year. All right, the next one I have is a little bit of a cheat, because I've read a tiny bit of this, but I haven't had the chance to like sit down and like sink into it, because I just haven't been in a super big mood for it, but I know it's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be a 5-star, and that is The Will of the Many by James Islington. I can't give you a synopsis for this one too much, because I don't want to read the flap and potentially spoil myself, or like, I haven't looked into this book. I just want to enjoy it as it is, because the world is so fascinating. But we're set in this kind of like Roman-esque future society where our main character, Viz, is in like hiding from this empire, because it's either he belongs to like some traitorous previous empire, or he's harboring a power. But what's really interesting about the society is that there's not only a hierarchy going on, but there's like this impending sense of like people sacrificing something to like these gods or these overly powerful beings. And Will obviously does not want to be anywhere part of that, but he has to kind of like find a way to be safe in the society. The reason why I think this is going to be a 5-star is because I picked this book up randomly because people were talking about it, and I was like, I don't know, James Islington like is this like really big fantasy author that I've never read before. And I was like, let me try a chapter. And I had got it from the library, and I tried this chapter. I tried the first chapter, and when I tell you, I put that book down, I went online and I bought it because I knew it was just going to be so good. And you can see where I left off. I've only made it that first chapter, and I am still like, I still think about it. I still think about the world we got introduced to. I still think about the world we got introduced to. I think about the character. I think about the mystery that is kind of brewing. And again, I don't know too much about this book, and I like that. I want to discover what is happening in real time as I read. So I'm very, very excited to continue this, especially because I already have the sequel too. So I think I can read them back to back if it's just like that good and I need to continue right away. The next one better be a 5-star, because I did buy the whole series recently, but that is Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. So as the name kind of implies, we're following our main character Carl, who is trying to like go through this dungeon in the middle of an apocalypse and an alien invasion. There's just a lot going on, and what to make matters worse, it is being like televised, kind of like Hunger Games, where he can get sponsors and kind of benefits if people watch and donate to him, and he's just trying to survive out here, even though he's just going through it. Again, this is a book I don't know too much about other than the kind of silly premise, and that's just how I want it to be. Literally everyone who has picked this book up has loved it and has specifically said that I will love it, because I hear there's not only a lot of video game references, but also like D&D and fantasy elements that are just like right up my alley. And so I know I'm going to absolutely devour this first book, because literally, again, everyone who's read it has not only read the first book, but then goes into a spiral and reads the rest of the books in the series, of which there are 7 books, and your girl bought all of them. So I have them, I can binge them, I can dive into this world and to the silliness that I know is gonna be this story. And like I said, I think I'm gonna really, really enjoy it. All right, and the last one I have is definitely a book that fits not only the vibe of this room, but like my vibe as a person, and that is of course Dark Academia. and I am talking about Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wong. Now, I can't tell you anything about this book because I have purposely not read the flap. I've not read anything. I've not listened to any reviews about it. All I know is that it's dark academia and it's M.L. Wong, of which M.L. Wong is such a phenomenal writer. She made me love Sword of Kaigen, even though I have like real faults with the books. Just M.L. Wong's writing and the way that she handled her characters and developed the story made me really fascinated. And that I'm very curious to see what she does, not only in a shorter work, but one that is focused on academia and mixing that with fantasy. I think it's going to give a little bit of Babel vibes, but I think kind of a little bit better done than Babel, in the sense that I think the fantasy elements are going to be more integrated into this. I've purposely, again, not learned anything about this book, so I can't give you a synopsis. It's magic, it's academia, it is a female-led fantasy, which I love, and it's M.L. fucking Wong. I think I'm just gonna love this. I think it's gonna be really good. I've heard really good things about it, but I myself have not read it, and so I think now's the time, especially because I'm just in this like dark academia mood that we're gonna have to see where this goes, and hopefully it lives up to the hype, and hopefully it is that 5 stars I really want it to be. Okay, we're gonna try to hold these all up, but it might not work. These are my 6 5-star predictions for 2026, as well as my official TBR for the year. So I need to read these 6 books so we can react to this video next year and see if any of these were actually 5 stars. And I'm gonna put them down because they're kind of heavy, because a lot of them are big old fantasy books. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you had fun. Let me know, what are your 5-star predictions for 2026? Do we have some similar tastes? Are you trying to continue series? Are you trying to read new series? Are you trying to read certain authors? What is your goal for the year? Let me know in the comments down below. But otherwise, I can feel my throat getting a little worse. So I'm gonna stop talking, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!